All right, welcome in. It is the best betting show ever, and we are excited, not just because the Prez is nowhere to be found, but of course, we've got the World Cup coming up in 24 hours. That's going to kick off. We got plenty to discuss there. We got a ton of Major League Baseball. We are inching closer to a 7-game series in the NHL, and I think we're going to figure out tonight whether or not we're getting 7 games in the NBA. But put it all together, and we've got you covered here, is Art the Caesar in the house. Carmine Bianco, he's actually sitting on a soccer ball right now. He is ready to go. World Cup action right around the corner. Gentlemen, welcome in. And let's start, Art, with I don't know, it wasn't that much of an upset yesterday, was it, with the NHL and Carolina? What did the books do last night? Anything crazy?
No, right. It's pretty much was a pick'em game. Carolina was a slight favorite. Good result for us. I've told you time in and time out that the majority of our big money comes in on Carolina, and usually the small local guys who are betting 20, 50, $100 on the Knights. But yesterday, our big house player came in and not only took the Knights, but he took the Knights on the goal line as well. He did a reverse goal line, laid the 1.5, so lost both of those bets. Also was big on the Phillies yesterday, so the Phillies losing was good for us. So all in all, it was a really good result for the house. And I've always said this, more content, more games is good for the house as well. This thing goes 7. It's just going to give us extra games to book, extra money coming in. So honestly, good result.
Carm, last night you certainly came over here and gave a nice, $2 dog on a parlay of the day, which was great. Stan Coven, that hit. But what did you think of the game last night? Did it go according to plan? I know you were involved. You said you liked Carolina, I believe, here on the show.
Yeah, first of all, I was happy that that one cashed basically a minute into the game. Stankoven someone actually commented I should have took him as the first goal scorer of the game. That's been a little too brave for me or whatever at plus 16 or plus 17 100. But clients, I released Carolina to my clients as a best bet. Win as I thought, but the goaltending continues to just I think abysmal is the wrong word. It is just the goaltending is not solved. The forwards, the defensemen, they just know what they're doing out there. They're scoring from the ground like Stahl did, laying on the ice, Ovechkin style goal. It's been a zigzag series, Joe, and I know that's not a betting tool, but it's gone Vegas, Carolina, Vegas, Carolina. So maybe that bodes well for Vegas in Game 5. I don't know, but I'm happy with the result. I think Carolina is the better team in the series. I just don't think. I think with the goaltending the way it is and these teams scoring goals, that this series is still. It's a 3-game mini series now to hoist the cup.
Crazy, absolutely. Just based upon how Art, Vegas got here by beating Colorado, and not just beating them, but dismantling them on a lot of different layers. But you kind of expected scoring from Vegas. Carolina, I thought, would have been more than happy to win 2-0, 3-1. That would have been it, but that is not happening here. I'm still waiting for that 6.5, and where? Like, it's still what? I think there's even still a 5.5 out there coming up for game 5. Are you guys where? 6? Is that where you guys opened up?
We are, but you've seen the adjustment, right? Games 1 and game 2, 5.5 over 20. Then you get to 6 under 20. Now you're going to get, yesterday we were 6 under 15. So we didn't want to give even money away on the over. Now we open game 5, 6 over 15. So we're trending towards that. Do we move to $1.20 over? Do we get to the 6.5? Like you said, Joe, if we see another 4-3, 6-4 type of game in a game 5, that could easily happen. We open Carolina minus 145 in game 5. Don't get don't forget though, we're dealing a 10-cent line.
Lines, right?
So you got plus 135
Yep.
on the night. So, you're going to get the best price basically on both sides there, which always gives really good two-way action. But it just goes to show you the power rating on Carolina. They're basically a slight favorite on the road and then a really huge favorite, on the road. Not huge. It's not like they're $2, but, you're sitting there minus 145, minus 155. You're in that range for what Carolina is at home.
Crazy here. Now they got right back to having home ice advantage. Carm, I was looking this morning at the team totals for these games here, and to me, I think if you don't score at least four, you're not winning. And we saw last night with the empty netter. Hell of an empty netter, too, by the way. I don't even know how that thing ricocheted into the goal for the last goal. Was unbelievable. But 3.5 is the Carolina, 2.5 for Vegas. Are we getting a 3-1 game? Are we ever getting that? Or is this 4? The first one to 4 likely is going to win.
I think the first one to 4 has a very good chance to win, but it doesn't guarantee them that they're going to win. It is crazy because they're outplaying the analytics, and at some point you just have to say to yourself, "Okay, I'm just going to ignore the analytics and expected goals and high danger chances and scoring chances for, and just continue to bet the over until it goes under." And I don't think we're going to see a game with an under. I just don't see how we can go back to Carolina for game 5 and all of a sudden think that either the Knights or the Canes are going to put in a defensive masterclass on their opponents. I just don't see it. And neither goalie has stood up. We in this series, whether it's Freddie Anderson, whether it's Bushi, who gave them a bit of a lift yesterday. At least he didn't allow any bad ones in. But and Carter Hart, the first goalie to allow 4 goals in the first 4 games of a Stanley Cup game.
Unreal.
It's unbelievable. You have to have a set of brass cojones to want to take the under in this series.
Wouldn't have this crap if the Panthers were there again. I'll just say that. All right. I'm just throwing it out there, although I have to enjoy the cup while it remains in South Florida for as long as possible there. But should be a good game 5. Art, as far as the NBA tonight, of course, the all-important game 4. Are you seeing any moves here tonight in the NBA? Feels like kind of what we got in game 3 looks like what we're getting here in game 4, except for the total always seems to be the one that moves the most here.
Yeah, no doubt. For us, we opened 215.5. We're now 216.5, as we mentioned yesterday. So a little bit of over money has come in from our opener. We've been pretty steady at Knicks -2. We're also dealing -105 on the sides there. So you get -105 on either side. When you have a line that small, that tight, money lines are going to play into it. Knicks -130. So you can see a lot of Nick money line as well. This will see tremendous two-way action unless we get someone who comes in and really just comes and buries us late with a 5-figure bet, which happens a lot in these NBA final games. 90 minutes, 60 minutes to post. You see it happen. So right now, it's not like we really need either side. I've continued to say that we're all rooting for the Knicks in the future book because we get buried on the Spurs, as most sports books do around town. So we're still pulling for the Knicks to bring in those figures at the end of the series.
Wondering also, Carm, we'll have to look into predictive markets. Have you guys, either of you, seen the number for the over-under on the amount of arrests if the Knicks do not win this game here tonight? Do we have any idea what that number is going to reach up at? Unbelievable there.
You got to buy one of those jerseys.
Yeah.
You buy one of those jerseys that you can flip inside out. You're a Spurs fan in the stadium.
Yes.
And then you just go to the bathroom, you flip it inside out, and you walk out as a Knicks fan. And you're you can get to the subway or your car or whatever. It's safe and sound.
Yep. Or just wear a San Jose Sharks
black
jersey.
T-shirt.
Nobody is gonna mess with you with that. Nobody cares there. All right. How about Major League Baseball, Art? We were laughing that the total in the A's and out in Vegas taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. We said that game is getting a little out of control. It was what it closed, 13.5 last night, and they didn't get to it. I'm seeing 14.5 today. So has any of the sharps jumped all over this game?
No, yeah, you're right. Now we're at 14.5, which clearly is the biggest total we've had so far. We continue to say that despite it going under last night, these totals will probably hover around that or maybe even go up higher in the Colorado series. As far as sharp action today in MLB, they're on 3 teams. They're on the Nationals, they're on the Rockies, they're on the Royals, and I'll throw one WNBA out there. They laid 5.5 overnight with the Sparks. It's now 7.5. So you've seen a pretty big move there.
All right, good stuff there. We will have we'll have more information. By the way, I know some of you guys were dropping in the comments. The College World Series, which starts, I believe, Friday in Omaha. So Art will have updated numbers on those for you here as we move along. Before we get to the parlay of the day, Carmine here, he's got a ton to deliver you guys for the World Cup, which starts in 24 hours. How are the markets been for you, Art? Have you seen big bets come in, or is it just the typical, give me Team USA to win it all kind of thing? Or have you seen actual sharp money coming in one way or the other in the World Cup?
We'll see it probably daily with the games, depending on, for the daily games. And, I'd mentioned to you about a month ago, and then I think I mentioned it last week, that right now for us in the future book, the team that's the worst for us is Portugal. Portugal's been a team that has steadily seen money here over the last, 2 or 3 months. We've had World Cup futures up for a while now. So, and obviously tomorrow and Friday, I'll be able to kind of break down a little bit more, maybe the stuff we're seeing in the groups, stuff to see in advanced markets, maybe even top goal scorer, because there are, there's some of that out there. Not a ton, but, I would say right now we want to avoid Portugal. And, I'd mentioned to you the first game that kicks off, they're already laying the goal with Mexico. So Mexico has been pretty popular for this opening round game, laying the goal.
All right, there you go. Got much more in that coming your way here, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We certainly appreciate you coming by. We went 3 out of 4 on the parlay of the day yesterday, and it was my play that let us down because somehow or another Colorado scores 7 runs through the first 3 innings and then doesn't score for the rest of the game. Like, I don't even know what happened there, Art. It was 7-1 when I went to bed in the 3rd inning, and somehow they didn't manage to score anything more after that. But today's a new day. Carm gave us your plus money. You hit. Even the Prez hit. So hopefully you guys took the Prez's advice and went round robin here. But we do have a 3-teamer for you, Art. So kick it up, man. You tell us, where are you starting here on the parlay of the day?
I hate to even go this way because they're awful, but they got embarrassed yesterday at home. So I'm going to lay it with the Mets today at home against the Cardinals. I think they win the game.
Blasphemous. Damn. Carmine, where are you going here for a little parlay of the day?
I'm going to switch it up a bit and give you a baseball one at plus money, but you're going to have to search the alternate line, the alternate total one. I'm going to go to the Milwaukee the Brewers A's game. I'm going to go the alternate total over 16, 9-8 game. I sense it. 9-8 game minimum plus 131 over 16 plus 131. The alternate market. You can find that over at DK and at FD as well too.
Love it. I was this close to pulling the trigger on the Padres because Singer is going, but it's the Padres, and luckily 3 of us will probably score more runs than they do here today. So, Art, I'm a big believer, if it ain't broke, let's not fix it. Tampa Bay minus 150 at home with Rasmussen on the mound. They won again yesterday, and the kid they got pitching today, Bennett, he's got 2 starts under his belt. They keep calling him up from Pawtucket or whatever. He hasn't pitched since May 7th. Only 2 starts this year. And you know who he pitched against on May 7th? And he did so well, they couldn't wait to send him back down afterwards? Yes, the Tampa Bay Rays in Boston. That's who he's facing here today on the call-up. Give me Tampa. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. At 150, that's where I'm going there for the parlay of the day. All right. We'll hit the predictive markets. Then we'll do Carmine and I. We'll talk some business because Carmine really just loves looking at that picture of the Prez. He wants that without a doubt. We'll get shirts made with it. But let's do the prediction markets here because we got a lot going on. First, guys, we talked about the NHL, and we said here on the show yesterday, Art, and we keep trying to explain to folks with the predictive markets, it's not about the market actually coming to fruition. We don't care if Vegas wins or if Carolina wins the Stanley Cup. Not what we're looking for. We're looking for the repricing. And yesterday, 24 hours ago, Carolina Art was 37 cents, I believe. And now they're 57 cents. So a 20-cent move in 24 hours with one win. We're heading back now. Are we going Vegas, Art? I mean, if Vegas wins Game 5, here we go again. I've never seen anything like it where it's always the same thing no matter who wins in this series. But Carolina was a great bet yesterday. If you're not invested, is Vegas at 43 cents a good bet today?
Well, I think what will happen is if anyone missed Vegas on the opener, maybe they hop back in now because we're basically priced where we open the series. Once again, dealing a 10-cent line in the series price. We're Carolina minus 140. You can get plus 130 on Vegas. So we're dealing obviously a very tight series split, which you rarely see. I'm with Carm. I think not only does Carolina have 2 home games, but they are the better team. But I think what will happen is we'll get some of the public players who come in and say, oh, wait, now it's a best of 3. You know, I believe in my Knights. I'm going to come take the Knights at plus 130. So, and that sets up perfectly for us. We're happy to do that. We'll be happy if Carolina wins on the series because we'll do well there.
2 out of 3, Carm. You said it, though. But if you're not invested now and you do like, you know, Vegas, again, was 60-some-odd cents yesterday. So 63 cents, I think they were yesterday. Well, now they're 43 cents, another 20-cent move. You give Vegas an opportunity here with 2 out of 3? Is it because if they win Game 5, it's flipping again here, isn't it, Carm?
It is. Why not with this Vegas one? Even though I think Carolina's been the better team in the series is tied at 2. The Vegas Golden Knights have proven they can win on the road. They've won in Carolina. They swept Colorado in Colorado when not many gave them a chance to win that series. They could easily go in and just play the perfect road game. Maybe they don't even need the perfect road game. Just go out and play like they've played the first 4 games. Neither team has played a perfect game. Yep. 4 games with at least a 2-goal lead blown in all 4 games. It is no lead is safe in this one, and it's probably why the market is where it is right now. That 56 and 44 3-game series. Vegas has to win 1 in Carolina to win the cup. So obviously, you'd rather win the first one in Carolina and then try and close it out on home ice, but. Like we said, it's been a zigzag series. It's insane.
You're right, Carmen. Now, again, you got 43, 44 cents on Vegas right now. So I'm telling you, and Carm's right. They've been great on the road. They win. Oh, boy, you're making another 15 to 20 cents in 24 hours. And the reason we brought that up yesterday, guys, is because we were telling you we're getting to the point in the finals now where you're running out of opportunities to middle or back the dog here, and nothing says that more than San Antonio at 38 cents. I feel like we just did this, Art, yesterday with Carolina. Here we go. New York Knicks, 63 cents. San Antonio, 38 cents. It's a 2-1 series. I think it's fair to say, Art, that if the Spurs win tonight, we got another flip-flop here, don't we?
Oh, no doubt. All the pressure's back on the Knicks. We said this the other day. I mean, you know, they were cruising into Game 3. Everyone was predicting a sweep. No way the Spurs can win. And now all the pressure's back on the Knicks. And maybe the Spurs found something in Game 3. You know, the Knicks had they were terrible from three in game three, and that's going to be the question again here in game four. Can they make their shots? But yeah, we are literally in the exact same position in both the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final as we were. So, I mean, if you like the Spurs, you bet them now.
Yeah, I mean, Carm, the pressure. I mean, you don't want to let Ben Stiller down, right? I mean, could you imagine being? I mean, it's the pressure for the Knicks must be something else. But listen, 38 cents for a team. Let us not forget, Art, before this series started, the Spurs were how big a favorite? $2? What were they?
We opened $2, but closed like 180. We saw tremendous Knick money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to look for any reason to make the Spurs the favorite here. So I think the NHL and the NBA mirror one another. 7 games, absolutely possible. And daily opportunities to be able to get in and get out are available still. But we're running out of time here if you like the Spurs tonight. I'm not sure it's going to work like that in the World Cup here, though, Carm. We have focused on some groups that you've talked about here. We talked about Colombia. You liked them yesterday. We talked about Group D for Team USA. Another group getting a ton of hype is this Group F. Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. And I find it fascinating that you got these groups where the favorite is barely 50 cents. So is it that wide open? Are these like this group here? Is there any value on Japan or even Sweden for that matter?
Yeah, there's quite a few people that are high on Japan coming into this tournament, and you can see it by that price. They're figuring they're going to finish at least second in the group. I think they have a chance to win this group. If you're going to play the group leader, who in this point is Netherlands, you always want to face a team in the opening match day. I think it's your best opportunity is when you're facing a team on the opening match day, because it gives you the opportunity to play them before they've actually got their, let's call them tournament legs. There's a lot of teams that build throughout a tournament. Portugal's very good at it. The Netherlands, I have to assume, just watching their friendlies, while I don't put a lot of stock in the friendlies, I put stock into the first 45 minutes if it's a starting unit. And the one problem they've had in both of their games, the one that was played in New York a couple days ago and the one that was played in Rotterdam back in Netherlands last week, is the fact that plenty of scoring opportunities and they could not find the net. And that's a timing issue. So if you have a timing issue, eventually that corrects itself, but it may not be on match day one. And they're going to get a Japan team that their work ethic is phenomenal. 90 minutes, they just don't give up. And if it goes, there's no extra time here. Obviously, if there's any injury time, they're there. They have some players who are some stars that are playing in Europe as well too. I think this is probably much like Portugal, I think this is probably the best Japan team that they've put out onto a pitch for the World Cup. Much like Portugal, I think it's Portugal's best team that they're putting on a pitch for a World Cup. So they play Netherlands in the first game. One of my smaller plays for clients in a free play was taking Japan plus a half a goal, because it would not surprise me if that game ends in a draw. As far as Sweden goes, historically a very good team in the World Cup, but again, a lot of question marks. This team does allow some scoring. It does ship goals. And then as far as like Tunisia goes, Tunisia is one of those ones, they're going to finish fourth. They're not going to allow a lot of goals. In qualifying, they qualified for the World Cup without allowing a single goal in qualifying. So they just play a park the bus type of thing, counterattack opportunities, and look to win games 1-0. I would venture a guess that if you're going to bet unders, you want to bet the Tunisia games in this group stage.
It's funny too, Art, because some of these, when you dive into some of the bets that you can make in the predictive markets with soccer, it is tremendous here. I love, Carmen, I'm glad you mentioned it, because I love these exact finishes spots here, because if we like Netherlands, right, to win the group, Well, Japan, Sweden finished second. I mean, look at Tunisia. We're obviously not at 3 cents, but it's either Netherlands or Japan here, right? And if
Yeah.
Tunisia, we know, is finishing fourth, there's a couple of combinations we could make here that'll cover us. No?
Yeah. If we believe Tunisia is going to finish fourth, and I do believe that is going to happen, then the one with, let's say, Japan, Netherlands, Sweden, Tunisia at 19% is obviously good, as is I think the first one, which is Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia.
21 cents. Wow.
The one thing about about Sweden, and it is just that when I'm looking at teams, I also look at I want to look at the players and if they're coming off of very good European seasons, with the exception of Gyökeres for Sweden, Isak, their other forward, huge payday for him to leave Newcastle, go to Liverpool, and he just had a miserable season there. He dealt with some injuries, and I think he only scored a handful of goals, if anything, for them across all competitions. So when you're not coming in good form, it is tough. The Argentina in 2022, all of their players, Lautaro Martinez, obviously Lionel Messi, those guys were coming off of very good years. 2018, Kylian Mbappe and the rest of that team, they had a fantastic midfield, fantastic back line. And I always say that is what I'm looking for. Teams with a good midfield, a good back line, because if you can play from the back out and beat the press that teams have, you can set up good counterattacking opportunities. France can do it. There's Croatia. Croatia was able to do it in 2018. So Spain's just they're a unicorn. They really are. Spain, they're a unicorn. They just win so many different ways, and they dominate you from the get-go. They can beat the press, but as far as Sweden is concerned, I don't think they can play from the back out. And we saw it in qualifying for the World Cup, and then we saw it in the playoff as well too, where they won games while allowing a couple of goals at the same time. So not so high on Sweden in this one. I think they finished third in the group and just enough points. 3 points. All they got to do is beat Tunisia. And 3 points gives you a 67.5% chance of making it into the knockout stages.
Art, I kind of love this angle now that I'm looking here. At 57, 58 cents, I'll take Tunisia to finish dead last in the group. Maybe that's the way to go, is look at some of these prices with teams to finish dead last in the group. Yeah. I got no problem fading Tunisia here. Why not? I don't give a crap who wins it. Too many good teams coming up top. Give me Tunisia to be useless. I think that's a fantastic approach, Art.
I'm with you. If you look at our Group F odds, Netherlands is the favorite, -130. Then you go to Japan at +250. Sweden is 550. Tunisia 16-1.
There it is.
I mean, Tunisia's sitting there at 16-1. Why not? And just to touch on Japan has been one of those teams we've seen a lot of love on, where they were 60-1, they're now 50-1 to win it. To advance from the group, they're -$4. Wow. It's all that type of stuff that you've seen on some of these teams that maybe aren't Spain, Argentina, Portugal, France, all the top teams. You see some of the lower tier teams where people look to take shots.
Love this. Lot more World Cup guys stuff coming up. Of course, we'll have it again tomorrow and Friday. Carm is here with us. And one more in the predictive markets, because it was brought to my attention, Art, and I'll send it to you because the overvaluing is, especially in Major League Baseball here, is that the Atlanta Braves at 19 cents right now to win the National League, the team with the best record in the National League? 19 cents, Art. I'm not laying and tying up 40 cents with the Dodgers here, Art. Are you?
No. I think, listen, I feel like 6 weeks ago we said we liked the Braves, and we weren't going out on some limb saying that because they've had the best record, and they continue to do it dealing with injuries.
Yes,
Drake Baldwin's been out. Acuna got hurt last night. It doesn't matter. They just continue to roll and continue to win. They're one of those teams, and I think they match up well with the Dodgers, and to get a price compared to what you're getting to with the Dodgers, I don't see how Atlanta's not the move there in the NL, unless you're saying, hey, I want, to take a shot maybe with Milwaukee or something like that. But still, I don't even know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can the Phillies continue? And obviously we know they have good pitching. So, and listen, the Phillies should have beat the Dodgers last year.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah, you can't tie your money up with the LA. You got to look a different direction.
I don't mind tying up the 98 cents there, Carm, with no on the Mets. I'm thinking that's a safe bet. I'm thinking we won't have much of an issue with that. But yeah, I think now is the time to invest. Park it, 19 cents. Keep it in there. Forget you have it. After the All-Star break, that is a lot of these teams are going to start going to the wayside. The market is going to adjust because I think the Dodgers ultimately with the Braves are going to be your two best teams. And getting to 40 cents, I don't think you'll have to tie up the money that long in order to double it here at that point. All right.
The Dodgers.
You too,
the Dodgers will probably find another $100 million somewhere to sign a reliever.
Yeah, that's a good point. But there's no, to lock them in at 40 cents now, unless you're just like, Dodgers are winning National League, I don't care, just here it is, park it in there and go. What do you have for the National League, Art, in a future price at the Westgate? I'm just curious. What is it, 2-1? What the hell are they now?
Let me bring it up. I'm sure it's even lower than that.
That's just.
You just get. You ready? Even money. Even money.
Money.
Exactly. Even money. This is what happens with the Dodgers. You know what happens too, Joe? And people always forget this. We also have to protect against them in future parlays.
Correct.
The Dodgers get thrown into these futures, throughout the year, and whether they're betting them to win the World Series, betting them to win the pennant, they just throw them in like it's a forgiven, like it's a given thing. Like, oh, it's happening. Dodgers are winning it. And then you go to the Braves 4-1, Brewers 7-1, Phillies 8-1.
Absolutely crazy. Overvalued. I mean, woo.
It's nuts.
It really is. Art, Manana, we will see you. Of course, we'll have updates throughout the day, and you'll have whatever info you have there, starting with the World Cup tomorrow. So we'll have some sharp plays there, and hopefully we'll be gearing up for another long series here with the NHL and the NBA Finals. Drag it out for as long as we can. Get out of here, Art. We'll talk some College World Series too as we get it done, man. Always a pleasure. We will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, we will have, of course, more World Cup action coming your way, to say the least here. So we're going to do that, but we first do have some business. And this is Carm's favorite part of the show, where we get to show him the press. All right, Carm, it is time for some business here as we get ready, of course, for the World Cup starting tomorrow. We got an NBA game tonight. We got Major League Baseball. We got NHL. What do you have for the fine folks up at your page at WagerTalk.com?
All right. Focus until Game 5 gets played. The focus obviously switches to the World Cup. World Cup kicks off on Thursday. A play up plus a bonus play. So you get two plays. There's only two games being played, so you'll get them both. And then a 5% play loaded for the weekend, a bunch with a lot of other plays. You can get the whole World Cup package, all futures, all props, all sides, all totals for $149. And once you purchase that package, email customer service. If you're familiar with Discord, they will give you an invite link to the private Discord channel, where I'll post some halftime plays along the way as well too. If I'm playing them, I'm going to make sure that the clients are playing them as well too, and you'll get them in that Discord channel, because with the timing, loading them up on the site won't give you enough time to receive it, and bet it. So Discord seems to be the best way to go, and it's just for the clients. That's about it. And then I'll have a Game 5 play as well too, Joe.
Love it, Carm. I too locked and loaded, ready to go for the NBA tonight on a 17-4 run in the NBA playoffs here. I do have a 4%er ready to go, not to mention a Major League Baseball top play as well. You could visit my page at WagerTalk.com. Get involved, or the buy three, get three is also tremendous too. Basically getting 6 days of all access for $69. That is on all of our pages at WagerTalk.com. All right, let's talk some World Cup rundown, because you've got some interesting markets here to go over, Carmine, and I believe one of them is it the goal market? What are you looking at?
Yeah, so there are just a ton of different props pre-tournament and then throughout the tournament as they get changed or upgraded or downgraded. But these are team total props, and by that I mean how many goals will be scored in the tournament for each team. Obviously, a couple of them that I want to focus on are teams that are going to make deep runs and taking the overs with them, and I'll get to them in a second. And then one where, while I expect them to get out of the group stages, I don't expect them to score a lot of goals, and we'll discuss that as well too. The first one, obviously, being Spain. The team total here is at 13.5 at even money. Spain's the type of team that in the group stages, if they have a chance to blow you out, they are going to. They're going to run up a lot of score lines. They're in a group with Uruguay, Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia. And I have to figure that probably about 7 goals should be scored by Spain at the very least in the group stages, which leaves us with 7 more for them to score the rest of the tournament. But Spain's a team that I expect to make it to at least the semifinals in this tournament, unless they get upset. And if my brackets are correct, they would play in the round of 32, likely Austria in the round of 32. And then in the round of 16, after knocking off Austria, they'd likely play a team like Croatia, if Croatia is still there. And if Croatia's not there, it's going to be a lesser known team as well, too. So this is just to get to the round of 16. There's still the quarterfinals and semifinals after that. I think 13.5 at even money. Over 13.5 at even money is a good bet. You're not laying any vig with that one. Laying some vig on Canada under 6.5 total goals. And I don't see them scoring a ton of goals in this tournament. A lot of their games are going to be of the 1-0, 1-1, or 2-0 variety. Bosnia in their group, Switzerland in their group, Qatar in their group. And I don't see them scoring many against Switzerland. I don't think they score more than 2 goals in any game in the group stages, and likely just they beat Qatar. Hopefully they beat Bosnia, and they likely lose to Sweden. After that, if the brackets are correct, they likely play the Czechia, which is the Czech Republic. And if they somehow got through them, and they're a very good defensive team, they would play the Netherlands if the Netherlands advance. So a tough road for Canada. I can see them getting in to the knockout stages, but then one and done as far as that goes. So I think 6.5, under 6.5 holds a tremendous value, especially if they underperform in the group stages. They would have to score quite a few goals for the over to hit in that one. And then Brazil, a team that I'm high on coming into this World Cup, coached by Carlos Ancelotti, formerly of Real Madrid, much respected by the team and players, a guy who has won multiple trophies in Champions League, domestic leagues, and the team seems to have responded under him, and he's got them playing a very good style. It doesn't matter if it's the regular unit in or the bench unit coming in. This team can score some goals. They play Scotland, Haiti, and Morocco, and I have to believe the game against Haiti is going to be a blowout, 3 to 4 goals. So you're going to get 4 of them right there. Morocco, in the initial game, match day 1 is going to be the toughest one between those two. Wouldn't surprise me if Brazil and Morocco draw in that first game, which means that Brazil, to get that number 1 seed, is going to have to run up some score lines on Haiti and Scotland, because the first tiebreaker is goals scored. After that, they likely face Japan and Ecuador, 2 teams that they should beat in the knockout stages. So over 11.5 goals for Brazil, and a team that I expect to make it to at the very least the quarterfinals, and I think a semifinal appearance as well too would not be a shocker.
So we've got some value, Carm, is what I'm seeing up here on the board in some of these markets here. The team total goals market for sure. So Good stuff. Should be a lot of fun as it gets ready to kick off tomorrow for the World Cup. We'll do some Major League Baseball here quick as well there, Carm, as it appears that we've got some afternoon games underway. The 1 o'clock slate, we talked about it, Red Sox and the Rays, part of the parlay of the day. Yankees looking to go for a 3 in a row against the Guardians. Rodon versus Messick. But we'll start in the late afternoon games. The Nats and the Giants. Griffin versus Robbie Ray. Feels like even though it's at Oracle, it's a good time to go for an over in that one. Reds and Padres. I really want to back the Padres. Michael King on the mound against Brady Singer. Oh, but it is the Padres, and they can't hit water if they fell out of a boat. But I think they're going to get it done in that one. I think the Mariners with Kirby taking on Young. Actually, I'm going to go with the O's in this one at a good price at home. I think they can get off the schneid and get one here from Seattle. Diamondbacks looking to bounce back. I think they do. Nelson on the mound taking on Gusto against the Marlins. You got the Dodgers and Ohtani taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates and their rookie Jones. It's Ohtani, not a lot of runs coming. Run line for the Dodgers for me. I think Framber Valdez gets it done against the Minnesota Twins. I do like not Max Scherzer, who's coming off the IL at 75 years old, going up against Luzardo. Phillies bounce back in this one. I think the Mets bounce back against the Cards. As Art told you, good pitching matchup, Braves and White Sox. Davis Martin up against Chris Sale. Walked it off, the White Sox did yesterday. I think the Braves get it done here today. The Royals won yesterday. They got Lugo on the mound. I'm going to go with an under in that one there. Cubs and Rockies can only look at the over. It's at 11.5 or 12. And the Brewers and the Athletics, 14.5. Not enough. And also the Astros at the Angels. Lambert versus Detmers. I actually like the Angels in this one here tonight, Carm. How do you like that? Tons of baseball there, Carm. And and the A's and the Brewers should be a pretty fun one once again out in Vegas. Remind the folks, Carm, what you got going on at WagerTalk.com, because soccer, as well as the NHL, still here.
Yeah, and I'm with you on the Phillies against the Jays. Can't take Scherzer in that spot. I actually think the funny story of that is Max Scherzer pitched against the Phillies, I think, in preseason, and he threw one right down the middle, a square strike, and Bryce Harper challenged it. Just to piss off Scherzer, he challenged it. NHL Game 5 will be up a little later today for the NHL, and a bunch of additional futures and props are being loaded for the World Cup today and tomorrow. So head over to WagerTalk, WT.buzz/CB, and pick up that World Cup package. And then if you do so, just email customer service. I'll let them know. They will verify it and give you an invite code to the Discord, and then I'll add you. And let's make some money.
Done. All right, Carm. Always a pleasure, brother. We'll have more World Cup tomorrow. We'll talk some more NHL as well. Enjoy the games there, Carm. Let's get it done. We'll be back again tomorrow. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Become part of that Wager Talk TV family, and make plans to join us again tomorrow for another edition of the best betting show ever. Good luck.